Hi everyone, welcome once again to my YouTube channel where we speak about everything mental health. We've been discussing the narcissistic family, we discussed the narcissistic parent, and then we have started discussing children of the narcissistic parents. Last time we talked about the golden child, and today we are going to discuss the invisible child. Now, the invisible child is this child, and most of the time I am not saying for a fact, but from my observation, most of the time these are the kids who are in the middle, either second born, third borns. So you're not the first born and you're not the last born. These kids in the middle are the invisible children most of the time. It could be a firstborn, it could be a lastborn, depending on the character of the child. But most of the time, they are the children who are neglected and get the bare minimum attention. I don't know if you've ever met a family where you know most of their children, but it surprises you one time to realize that so and so is part of this family you never connected. Because the parent never talks about them, never mentions them at all. So you visit and you find this child and you're thinking, oh, who is this? And the parent says, this is my daughter or this is my son, and you had no idea. They are the invisible child. You never connect. These are the children who just survive on their own because they don't get the emotional support from the parent, and so they just learn to survive. They just learn to be quiet and survive. They have zero expectations from the family, either from the siblings or for the parent. They just get the bare minimum. They are invisible because that is self-preservation. They have learned to just survive. They learn not to give their opinion because they have learned to be ignored. They don't get into socialization a lot because they don't learn to socialize. They just float around. They are just there. So as out of self-preservation, they just learn to flow. They feel unworthy. They feel suppressed. They don't try out new things. They don't bring out their talents. They don't strive. They are not very ambitious. We are talking about earlier in the between formative age and adulthood. In between that time, they just flow. They don't try out things because, after all, they are not motivated, they are not encouraged, they are not cheered on, and even when they do well, no one acknowledges. No one acknowledges them. So they don't bring out their talents. Only later in life, when they become adults and they shine, and the parents or siblings or even society is in shock and they are like, wow, who would have thought that so and so will turn out to be so and so, because they were an invisible child. Now, here is the tragedy. Most educationists, some teachers, some people in society, they ignore the invisible child. As much as this child is ignored at home, some educationists, even in class, they don't understand the psychology of why this child is like this. So a classroom or school would be a best place to bring out the best in this child. But then, even in class, if the teacher is not empathetic or is not alert, the invisible child becomes invisible even in school. It's not until later in life, when they probably go to campus or they meet people who see their potential and bring it out, then they become stars and they become celebrities. I can give you an example of Mariah Carey. Beautiful voice, but had not been noticed for a very long time. The invisible children who come out to be heroes, who come out to be what you never imagined that they could be. that is the invisible child of a narcissistic family. I hope now you are clear, and yet again, let me ask you to give your opinion. Remember, start observing your children, start observing your siblings, start observing your friends and children in your neighborhood, in society. Could there be an invisible child who is not acknowledged? Let me have your comments. Now you know. And remember, you got this. Thank you.